So hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 18 of our season 2 here on F1 Manager 24. Now we start with some big breaking news, and that is that George Russell will be joining Lotus F1 as the lead driver next season. We're very happy to get George Russell on board. We've had to do a lot of work to get him there. Wasn't having the greatest season at Mercedes as a whole wasn't, and with the research that's going into next year's car, George Russell was happy to join the Norfolk based team. Of course, as a Kings Lynn boy, he is coming home, so welcome to the team, George Russell, from the start of next season. If you didn't watch the last episode, go back and watch that one in Baku, because Enzo Fittipaldi fought through the pack to get P10 on the day. Dennis Hauger down in P17. It wasn't his day. Verstappen winning from Carlos Sainz. It was a Red Bull 1-2, which meant in the constructor standings, I should say, Red Bull did close the gap on McLaren, but it still very much looks like McLaren are going to win the constructors. We're in P9 at the moment, trying to chase down Alpine and Williams. Driver standings wise, Lando Norris is leading, but only 37 points now separates him and his teammate Oscar Piastri. Verstappen and Leclerc still just about in the fight. Verstappen certainly is in the fight, and would you back against him? I'm sure you wouldn't. This weekend we head to Singapore under the lights at the Marina Bay street circuit. 63 laps round here. Expect some crashes, some safety cars. It can happen round here. It's a very important track for acceleration, which we're particularly good at. Medium speed, not so much. You'd fancy us to possibly be in the fight for points today. Expect a strategy. You can try the two-stop, you can try the one-stop, but you have got to be ready for a safety car at any moment. Just to bring you up to date with the car part development, what's going on, we are still designing a new chassis, which is going to be an upgrade for this season, and a research is going on the underfloor for next season. We're trying to make this car as quick as possible next year for George Russell to lead us to a constructors and possibly drivers title as well. So next year is very much the focus. But all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get through practice, and I shall see you in qualifying for the Singapore Grand Prix. It's got to be said, ladies and gentlemen, it's not looking very good at all in Q1, as we see Hauger coming around the final corner. He's not managed to get a decent lap in, and Hauger's going to be out. P20, where oh where can Fittipaldi put his Lotus car? It looks very nice under the lights here at the Marina Bay circuit, but does it look quick? He's got Hulkenberg that's been chasing him around the circuit all the way through this flying lap. Where will Enzo Fittipaldi put this Lotus car? It's P17, both Lotuses out in Q1. What does that say for tomorrow's race, ladies and gentlemen? And Dennis Hauger is stone dead last. Q3 results are that Verstappen will be on pole from Carlos Sainz. It's a Red Bull lockout once again. Lando Norris in P3, Leclerc P4. Lawson's got a grid penalty, but my word, have we got work to do on Sunday. Right, ladies and gentlemen, P17 and P21 to kick off this Grand Prix. Now, we are going to change the strategies up slightly. We aren't doing the one-stop. We didn't feel the reason to do that. We are going to do a two-stop. 2 sets of soft compound tyres and then a set of mediums for Fittipaldi. It's a soft, medium, soft for Dennis Hauger. We have got the hards to use should we decide to, but P17, P21, let's see how far we get.
Welcome back, everyone. The final preparations are now being made as we head into the race. A short moment of time to themselves to focus on the race ahead.
Not where they'd want to be in P21, but honestly, they've just got to give it their best shot.
But remember, anything can happen in Formula One. And this is it, the Singapore Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go. Verstappen got a decent launch round the outside. Will Carlos Sainz try and get him into turn 1? He certainly will, but Verstappen has him covered off. It looks like there's been a little bit of an incident going backwards. Fittipaldi all cooped up at the back here as they are going 2 by 2 through the first corner. Fittipaldi loses a position to Logan Sargent, but equally he's trying straight away to get it back, and he dives down the inside, making the move back on Logan Sargent. We'll take that all day long as we we can see Fittipaldi now looking at the back of Frederick Vesti. Where or where will he fancy a move into this next corner? He won't. He's just going to settle down a little bit. Hauger dropped right to the very back. Zhou Guanyu managed to get him off the line. We are going to calm down straight away on tyres. We don't want to be burning his tyres up early doors here. There's no reason to do so. Fittipaldi and Hauger have both got to conserve these tyres to make this strategy work, but it is Verstappen leading from Sainz and Norris in P3. Coming to the end of lap 1, and we've had a massive lockup for Carlos Sainz. Let's have a look at this. He's racing his teammate Verstappen, covering him off. And my word, how fortunate was Carlos Sainz there not to A, go into Verstappen, and B, go into the wall. And Carlos Sainz has dropped all the way to the very back of the pack now. Fittipaldi just behind Vesti and Lawson at this moment in time. Hauger at the back, just keeping an eye on Zhou Guanyu, already conserving tyres. But Lando Norris is outside of the DRS of Max Verstappen. We've had an overtake, and Enzo Fittipaldi's finally got past Frederick Vesti. Vesti putting up a stern defence, but you must say Lotus looked like we did have the edge there over the Kick Sauber. So we've just told Fittipaldi now to try and catch back up to Liam Lawson and get back in the fight, for this is P12. P10 is a little bit further up the road, but straight away you can see Fittipaldi under a little bit of pressure, but not too much, as Verstappen still leading. Leclerc now in P2. Hauger is just tottering onto the back of Zhou Guanyu, very much in P21, but Fittipaldi doing everything he can do to chase down the cars in front. Dennis Hauger getting an overtake done. Let's have a little look at this. So we can see Carlos Sainz actually behind Hauger, but he manages to get past Vesti and put a car between himself and a resurgent, Carlos Sainz, who looks like he's just about got Vesti there, it must be said. Now let's just have a little look, because Enzo Fittipaldi, P15, leading the charge for Team Lotus on lap 10. He must be said, we are eating through our tyres, even though we are trying to take care of them. Verstappen is in P1, Leclerc P2, then come the McLarens of Norris and Piastri, Gasly and Stroll again in the Aston Martins. It's lovely to see those two doing well in P5 and P6. Bottas P7, Perez P8, George Russell in the Mercedes in P9. He won't be in a Mercedes next year. He will be in a Lotus car, and Porsche in P10. And we knew we were going to get it, but we have got a safety car on track. We're just going to see what's happened here. It's Yuki Tsunoda. I mean, it must be said, this may prompt an early pit stop from the Team Lotus team. Let's have a look here. Wow, Tsunoda, I mean, he tried to stop it, then he went into the barriers. We're going to have a look at the strategy and come back very shortly. My word, is it a busy pit lane? Everyone at the moment is coming in to the pits. Fittipaldi and Hauger included. Every single car on track has pitted. This is incredible. Verstappen's on hard. So is Norris. So is Leclerc. Everybody going onto the hard compound tyre. We're going onto the mediums and the softs, it must be said, here down at Lotus. But look at this. Everyone on circuit is into the pits. This is possibly one of the busiest pit lanes we have seen on F1 Manager. There are cars being held everywhere. Where are we going to go here? Are we going to get held? We get away very, very well there. With Fittipaldi into the pits comes Dennis Hauger. Does he get a decent stop? It looks like that tyre's on, and it is 2.7 seconds for Hauger, and Fittipaldi's done very, very well out of that. He's into P13, Hauger into P18, just behind Carlos Sainz. So Verstappen and Norris are leading at this Grand Prix, but Fittipaldi into the pits on the soft compound tyres. That was one manic pit lane. Safety car is coming in. We are going to attack for the first few moments of this restart. Then both cars are going to be conserving, yes, conserving on their tyres, because again, it is part of the greater plan. But Verstappen will lead us away from Lando Norris. Leclerc in P3, then comes Piastri in P4. We've got a few cars looking to make a move early doors, one of which is the Aston Martin of Pierre Gasly. Couldn't quite get the move done. Fittipaldi straight away on those soft compound tyres will be looking to utilise them and get past Hulkenberg, Ocon, and get up towards his next season's teammate George Russell, because Fittipaldi at the moment has got a contract for next year. Lap 16 then from the restart, Verstappen leads. It's got to be said, on lap 18, Fittipaldi's had a shocking restart. He's down to P16 at the moment, and Verstappen has just lost the lead of the Grand Prix for the first time during this race. Lando Norris is your new race leader. But Fittipaldi is fighting back. My word, he's just overtook Carlos Sainz, and then down the inside of Logan Sargent. Did very, very well not to take him out there, and now he's pushing on to try and get back in the fight for the points paying positions. Hauger at the back, conserving tyres. It's not working really for Hauger at the moment. Enzo Fittipaldi has just been on the radio, not very happy at all with Carlos Sainz, saying he was pushed wide during this overtake. I'm not quite sure we've heard that before. Was he pushed wide? I mean, I'm not too sure about that, Enzo. He weren't very happy at all, but Carlos Sainz is through into P14 now. Fittipaldi looking to tag onto the back to let him drag him up to this car in front. He's making these soft compound tyres work beautifully at this moment in time. Here's Enzo Fittipaldi as he gets that rear wing wide open. Hauger still down in P20, got work to do here and can't catch up with Zhou and Lawson. Fittipaldi's got Daniel Ricciardo. He's also got George Russell, because George Russell's just had a moment and dropped right towards the back of the grid. But Enzo Fittipaldi now, as you can see, I think that's up into P14. Let's just have a little look at what happens here. Yeah, P14, 3.8 seconds. He's lost a lot of time to Carlos Sainz. Not quite sure why he's lost that amount of time, but he's now just getting the tyres back up to temperature and he can start moving forward again. Hauger's managed to catch up to Zhou Guanyu and he's starting to put him under pressure. Fittipaldi is having to come into the pits. His tyres are getting absolutely cooked here in Singapore, so he's in. We are switching to a three-stop strategy with Enzo Fittipaldi. How well this is going to work, I have no idea. I don't know why they put that pole in the way there, but into the pits comes Enzo Fittipaldi. He's going to go on to another set of fresh soft compound tyres, and then he will go on to mediums towards the end and push and push. He's going to come out right at the very back now. He can push on these soft compound tyres. Let's see where this takes him. I can't remember the last time I did a free stop, but Fittipaldi out at the back, work to do. I think we've had a few cars trying the same thing as us, because Fittipaldi is lapping in the 134s at the minute. He was 4 seconds quicker than Zhou Guanyu on that last lap. He was 3 seconds quicker than his teammate Dennis Hauger. He's absolutely flying at the moment. We're not pushing the tyres too much with Fittipaldi, but we feel this is the correct way to go. Have we just pulled off a masterclass in strategy, or is it all going to end in tears? Hauger's still trying to make these mediums last as long as he possibly can to get to the hard compounder tyre, but Fittipaldi, this is going to be an exciting end. We're just halfway through. We can see Norris is leading from Verstappen and Leclerc. We've got Piastri in P4, Stroll and Gasly P5 and 6, Sainz P7. What a recovery from Carlos Sainz. Perez P8, Porsche P9, Bottas P10, and now into the pits comes Lance Stroll. Now, what tyres is he going to go into? Is he going to go on to a set of mediums? Is it going to be a set of softs? Let's have a little look at what happens to Lance Stroll here, trundling in on the medium compounder tyre. One would suggest it would be the hard compound as he trundles down the pit lane. Is it going to be the hard compounder tyres? It certainly is. The Aston Martin crew, is it a decent stop? It certainly is. It is going to bring Lance Stroll out. He will now go to the end, but Fittipaldi pushing on. We've had a crash on circuit. It's brought out a virtual safety car. It looks like Lawson was fighting with Fittipaldi and he was so fortunate not to smash into his old teammate. And my word, that Ferrari is looking a little bit worse for wear. That's possibly one of the most damaged cars I've seen on F1 Manager. My word, this guy at the back here, he's just, oh my word, he needs to be consoled by his teammate right there because he didn't look very happy at all. Fittipaldi's just trundling around. We aren't going to pit under this safety car. We don't feel we need to at this moment in time. We're going to be on a quicker tyre towards the end. I'm quite happy with how Fittipaldi's lapping at the moment, but Hauger is pitting this lap. He's going to be in very shortly. Hauger into the pits. It's a decent stop, 2.6 seconds for Hauger. Now, where is he going to come out? Is he going to have gained some positions here? We're looking at Sargent, we're looking at Zhou Guanyu. Hauger trundling towards the end of the pit lane. I think he's going to get out in front of Zhou Guanyu, and he is. Fittipaldi now in P10. He doesn't get out in front of Zhou Guanyu, so Hauger now just in P19. Fittipaldi up to P10 at the moment. We've got another crash on circuit. Let's have a look what's happened here. It's Nico Hülkenberg. So these guys are fighting for the points with Fittipaldi. And my word, it's just a little tap there. He got forced wide and Hülkenberg drops back a couple of positions. Fittipaldi now in P9. Still lapping in the 135s at the moment. Perez just setting a 133. Hauger at this moment now just getting these tyres up to temperature. He's doing very well at this moment in time. We're going to push him on, but Fittipaldi's still loving life. And we are going to get him on those mediums very soon. Perez has overtaken Fittipaldi. Now, I'm not too upset with this because Perez, he's got the DRS wide open. Fair play to him. He gets past Fittipaldi, and that is fine. But at this moment in time now, we can see that Fittipaldi, he's just got out of DRS. That's unfortunate. We're going to push on to see if we can stay in that DRS. But Fittipaldi's got about another 3 or 4 laps, and he'll be into the pits. And we've got a red flag on circuit. Fittipaldi, he's going to be restarting this Grand Prix in P10 after a red flag. Let's have a little look at this Porsche area in the right-hander. Spins off. Car is very much in a dangerous position. And now this changes everything because we were actually pitting on that lap. We'll be on the mediums with Fittipaldi.
It's time to pick up where we left off as the race restarts. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go, and now this is going to get all so interesting now because we've got a lot of cars on soft compound tyres around us. That is fair enough, but Fittipaldi, what he's got to do here, he's got to stick in with these guys because those soft compound tyres towards the end are going to be really struggling, and his medium compound tyres may very well not be. We've got another yellow flag on circuit. I'm not sure what's happened here. Fittipaldi's overtaken Albon. We've got another crash, and it's Dennis Hauger. Dennis Hauger has crashed at turn 4. Let's have a little look what's happened here. You can see into turn 2, I think that is. We can see he's around the outside. He touches the wall, and then it just gets worse from there. So very disappointing for Dennis Hauger. Disappointment in the Lotus garage as well. We'll get that sorted out. He's got terminal front wing damage. He's going to have to come in for another pit stop, but Fittipaldi, just stick with him, lad. Hauger is into the pits once again. He's going to have to get a new front wing. As you can see, they managed to get the wing off. They get the new wing on. There is a set of fresh soft compound tyres going on. Everything happening. And Hauger's going to come out dead last. But I want to keep him out just in case somebody else retires and he manages to sneak P18. So Hauger out there. But Fittipaldi is doing his utmost to chase after Perez and Stroll. Oh, Enzo Fittipaldi's dropping down the pack here. We can see Albon's just got past him. This is for P11. We'll just watch this overtake once again. Alexander Albon down the inside, gets the move done. So disappointing from us because you can see he's pushing on. We're just trying to save his tyres a little bit, but these guys at the front might have the upper hand. 10 laps to go. Ocon has got Fittipaldi. This is for P12. And again, it's so frustrating because I felt we were in a very strong position here. But we can see Ocon round the outside, gets the move done into the chicane. Now, we are going to see that crossover period very shortly. But it must be said the guys in front are managing their tyres beautifully, while Fittipaldi is struggling to keep with the cars in front. This is looking very bad for him. Hauger has really killed his tyres as well. He might be having to do another pit stop very shortly, but 10 laps to go. Verstappen leads from Leclerc and Sainz. It's a three-way battle for the lead. We've got another crash on circuit. This time Logan Sargent. It's a shame it's not happening in front of us at this moment in time. Sargent with the Red Bull, with the RB, sorry, and that is another just silly accident that didn't really need to happen. We're just seeing these tyres in the cars in front just starting to drop off, and Fittipaldi now, he's starting to get the sensor. He might be able to attack Ocon and Ricciardo, but Stroll looks a little bit as though he's out of sight at the moment. Fittipaldi's tyres, we said it would come to us towards the end. He's now managed to get past the Williams round the outside. Beautiful work done there. He's got now Daniel Ricciardo in the RB just in front of him. He's now into the DRS of that, but everybody in front, he is not going to catch 9 seconds in 3 laps. Fittipaldi might get the wooden spoon here. It must be said, Dennis Hauger, he is in P19. He's just trundling back at this moment in time. Nothing else for Hauger to do. What we might do actually is pit him and try and go for the fastest lap with Dennis Hauger, but Fittipaldi still pushing on, but it looks a bridge too far. Final lap of the Grand Prix and final sector, and my word, Verstappen, Sainz and Leclerc are fighting for the lead here and fighting for the win in Singapore. We're going to keep an eye on it, but it looks like Max Verstappen has just about done enough as he comes through the final sector, the final corner. Leclerc, will he chuck one down the inside? He won't. Max Verstappen is going to win the Singapore Grand Prix from Carlos Sainz, and we're aware he's Enzo Fittipaldi. He's pushing on at this moment in time. We can see see that Dennis Hauger pushing on as well, but it's going to be a very, very disappointing race for Dennis Hauger. But Fittipaldi has done very well indeed today. You can see Hauger might actually get in the way of these cars that's fighting his teammate. Another 3 or 4 laps maybe. Fittipaldi might have been in the fight for points. The tyres would have dropped off in front of him. We were brave in our strategy today, but it didn't quite pay off, unfortunately. But you've got to give a lot of credit to this young Brazilian man who is going to be fighting tooth and nail with George Russell next season. But Fittipaldi comes down the final corner for P11 on the day. Let's get to the podium.
Well, Max Verstappen can add yet another podium to his already impressive record.
6 wins now in this season. They're not flagging. A mighty impressive victory.
Mighty impressive indeed, and Max Verstappen is starting to charge down Lando Norris and those McLarens. It was Verstappen with the fastest lap, 26 points on the day from Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc in P3, Piastri P4, Gasly P5, Lando Norris P6. Is he starting to bottle it under the pressure? Alexander Albon P7 for Williams. That could be crucial in the constructors. Russell P8, Perez P9 and Lance Stroll in P10. It was P11 for Fittipaldi on the day. Dennis Hauger P19. We had 3 people that didn't finish the race: Porsche, Lawson and Yuki Tsunoda. Driver standings wise then, Lando Norris 345, but Max Verstappen now on 318. If my maths is correct, that is 27 points that he is behind. Piastri drops down to P3, Leclerc in P4. We see Fittipaldi stays in P14 with Hauger in P17. Constructor standings wise, McLaren on 657, but Red Bull are on the charge on 510. You see Williams jumping above Alpine now onto 28 points. We stay in P9. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know, who do you think is going to win the Constructors and the Drivers' title? And do you think that we can improve on P9 as well? I hope you enjoyed that. A very, very decent episode. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra.